Hello, witches. It's Dragabella. I am coming to you today on the new moon. Today is the day of the new moon, and it inspired me to talk about having successful magic spell work done on the full moon and having it continue to be successful. Early in my practice, I would do spells on the new moon to rid myself of things that no longer served who I am. It could be people, situations, healing an illness, getting healthy, those kinds of things. And what would happen is I would not do the follow-up necessary waxing spell work to to kind of fill the slot that I had now emptied. And so that's my little tidbit of advice to people who are new or less experienced in the craft and haven't figured this out yet, that when you do your activities, whatever spell work you're doing on the new moon, that the way I look at it is kind of like the zodiac. If you look at the 12 houses, the different areas of your life, there's like little slots for each one. And that's kind of how I picture the way I do my spell work throughout the month, is that there's certain slots you have that are filled. If you have a pretty full life and you're a pretty satisfied person, all the slots will be filled and everything will be pretty balanced. But there sometimes comes a time when one of the areas needs some work. And so if you're maybe reorganizing your friends and eliminating or changing the types of people that you want to be around, if you are doing work on the new moon, you're eliminating the ones that no longer serve you. So you've kind of created like an empty block. And an empty block is only going to stay empty for so long. Something is going to come along and fill that. And if you're not choosing carefully and doing the spell work to fill that with something that you want it to be filled with, it's going to end up getting filled again, but with something that you hadn't intended or don't want. It tends to work that way when people try to recover from addiction. They cure themselves of one addiction, but then they become addicted to something else. Maybe not even a substance. It could be anything. But people who have problems with becoming addicted can become addicted to all kinds of different things. And so just because you eliminated one area of your addiction, you need to conquer, the whole block, whatever's causing the addictions in the first place. So, for me, it helps to kind of think of it in terms of like a pie, and like your 100% is the whole pie being filled, all the little slots are full. And so whenever I do any kind of spell work on the new moon, I try to balance, or at least if it's that type of magic that I'm removing something, I always try to counterbalance it at the next phase with something positive that I want to replace it with. So that can be really helpful in achieving success and in getting your life to be balanced and set up the way that you want it to be. And I find that, you can also do this kind of work. Like I tend to do a whole renovation of my life around the time of Samhain. That's an excellent time to really examine, the whole year, who's in your life, what you've done, what you've accomplished, and that kind of thing. But, so I thought I would just make a quick video today to talk about that. And I also am curious what everybody's doing for Yule this year. Do you guys celebrate Yule separately, or do you do it with Christmas, or what does everybody do? For me, the majority of my family are all Christmas oriented. I've always celebrated Christmas. I grew up Catholic and some form of Christian beliefs. Most of my family have. Christian-oriented beliefs. And so I kind of, in my house, I incorporate both. I have the Yule log and the Christmas tree, and I have brooms decorated with Christmas decorations and things like that. But we do still celebrate Christmas, but I also celebrate Yule. So I kind of have a mishmash of celebrations at my house, a mishmash of the different types of decorations, some for Christmas, some for Yule, and all of that. So very fun. And at the grocery store the other day, they had a bunch of Halloween stuff still on clearance, and I was like, ooh, yay! I got one of those, sorry, my dinghy thing is going off. I got a really cool goblet that was shaped like a skull, and there was a button on the bottom, so you could put the button on and the whole thing would light up and start blinking. It was very cool. So I'm almost at my children's school. They have their Christmas pageant tonight, so yeah, that should be fun. They are singing and doing a little play, I believe, but the thing that sucks about it is that I have to go pick them up, drive an hour back home. They have to change their clothes, have a quick bite to eat, and then I have to get my butt back in the car and drive all the way back another hour. So I'm going to be in the car like 4 hours today. That sucks. And if you guys haven't heard, here in Massachusetts, there was this like major scare. They closed down a couple of the Chipotle restaurants because a bunch of people got really sick with a virus. And also, there was a runaway train the other day, yesterday in fact, in Braintree. One of the commuter rails, the guy who operated the train got out of the train, but he had something jammed on the gas or whatever makes the train go, and the train took off from the station with no driver. And it was quite a fiasco, and a whole bunch of people freaked out, and now they're doing like press conferences trying to determine the safety of the train system, and it's like a whole, yeah, pretty crazy. But anyway, the point that I was telling you this is I think I had like a similar virus to the virus that the people at Chipotle got, because I got really sick on Wednesday night, and thank goodness I didn't try to go with my family to church. I stayed home and basically was like trapped at the bathroom. So I hope you guys have a great weekend, and blessed be. Bye.